You're listening to a Lost in the Groove segment.
Having good vibes with your bones and joints. Taking a trip into the groove. American groove into stoner world. Gonna fly.
I gotta explain this, all right? And then, I don't know if I tell you this, but when I got the car last year, and this is just a rule of thumb, whenever you're buying a car that is a convertible, make sure the top has been replaced. It's not the original top when you got the car. So I made that mistake, so I need to replace my top, and that's $1,600 right there. And
That's it? I was worried it was gonna be $3,000.
it's about $3,000. I found only one place. I called 20 different places, and I found one dude that was willing to do it for $1,650.
Dude, whenever
And-
things aren't multiple thousands with cars, I'm like, oh, yeah. You mean something that I could actually possibly pay off?
Yeah, and that honestly seems like easy, quick solution. It's really not an easy, quick
No.
solution in any shape or form. But the thing for me was it's an electric top, okay? So it's gonna cost an arm and a leg to get this fucking thing fixed. And the thing was also I had a blown out tire last year, and I didn't really have money to replace all my tires. I only replaced 2 tires, and my tires weren't properly balanced, and then I had to replace my brakes. And then because the tires weren't balanced, a bunch of shit broke on my car. Make a long story short, it's over $2,000 so far getting this car fixed. But yeah, it's been real fun. But getting that all figured out. Yeah. I don't know why I started. I have no idea why I started with this. But
Unbelievable. Before you started the podcast, I wanted to play a video for you of Camilla. Because it's been deleted from the internet. And I have it.
send it to me. I'll still watch it. I don't give a fuck. We're not a bunch of raging professionals here in any shape or form. Oh
No, there's this moment where she was giving a speech or something, and I don't know, can you guys hear it? Does it work?
Send it to me. Let me see.
And yesterday was today yesterday. Tomorrow will be today tomorrow. So live today. So the future today will be as the past today, as it is tomorrow. I want to show you.
So what is today will be the past, which is tomorrow.
Here,
but tomorrow is today that will be the past.
Have you heard
for
this
tomorrow?
before?
Yeah, I have. It's not the wildest shit I've ever heard. I want to tell you something. And I've told you this from the beginning. I have had so much fucking fun this entire presidential campaign, up until the 2 assassinations that fucking feels like a bullet or a 007 James Bond movie right now, okay? Kamala seems like Kate Blanchett with the fucking bob in the Indiana Jones Crystal Skull movie, all right? We are in an interesting time, and bro, it is hilarious. I am having so much fun. I am having so much fun. This is so fun. This is SNL. This is the best of SNL. And SNL is fucking doing a great job of imitating this shit. It's hilarious.
And yesterday was today yesterday.
But yesterday was tomorrow. And tomorrow will be
I can't even really see if that actually makes sense. And I usually like shit like that. That's but it was I don't know if it's just that her inflection is wrong when she says it, and so it doesn't have any meaning, or what it
Here's
is, but
here's a
it's
real
it
here's a
cracks me up. Like, to me, that's the epitome. Like, that right there is the epitome of what we are dealing with, is like just this kind of human that just spits out. I mean, I can just imagine her as like my boss, like she's the CEO of the company and she just walks around and she orders her fucking Chinese chicken salads and she's just a
Can I
dumb
get it low
bitch. And
carb with no salt? No salt.
she leaves early. She disappears. She's in the bathroom like 24/7. She's just that type of coworker, like, I mean, or boss. Like, I could just tell. I could just tell that she's gonna.
Look,
She just seems
the
like your
fact
boss.
the
I don't
fact
know.
the
Not my
fact
boss. I like
that
my boss.
that we
but-
had a Hurricane Helene, and now we have Hurricane Milton. We're dealing with catastrophic hurricanes that literally like ripped through Georgia and North Carolina. And the lady like fucking lies on television. Yeah, like Rob, I call him Rob because whatever. Rob DeSantis is like not answering my phone calls, yada yada, and he's like, "You never called me, bitch. Like there is no number. All right, you don't care. You just want to
Oh,
look pretty, honey.
dude,
You
she
want to
100%
be.
doesn't care.
You just want to be Kimmy. You want to be Kim Kardashian on fucking CoverGirl. All right."
Yeah.
August
Yeah.
collection. All right, girl, your time has passed, girl.
Well,
That ain't
how
cute.
long? How long do you think it is till they start pumping Ozempic into her?
Not long.
Right?
You just.
She'll be skinny before you know it. Like,
And it's
unless she has some type of issue with it, she'll be twig thin by this time next year. She'll be like, and I lost all this weight, and everybody's so happy for me, and everyone should be healthy like me. When it was really just Ozempic.
That was literally the thing that saved all the souls. Like, literally, it is. Okay.
I just want to talk shit about her. Not because I'm a Republican, but because I don't like authority.
Well, I'm not. The thing about me is, like, I'm not a Republican. Like, I am a hardcore libertarian as a, like, thought process wise. Like, I don't affiliate with any parties. But the second, like, you start talking shit on Kamala, it's like, okay, you're immediately a Trump supporter. And it's like,
yeah,
look,
I'm
right?
not.
I like Tulsi Gabbard and RFK and Elon Musk more than I like Donald Trump. The only reason why I like Donald Trump is because Donald Trump has those people on his team. So it doesn't make me a Donald Trump fan. I'm just a person that I like to believe in real people that actually do what they say. Isn't that interesting, Carissa? Do what they say.
I think that a lot of people have trouble talking about politics with other people.
It can be hard. I mean,
it's like you and I, like, we can talk about politics because we have talked about politics so much. Like, I already know how to not offend you, you know? Like, we already know each other pretty well. And so
yeah,
it
but
can
we
be
can still
really
have a conversation about like differences of opinion. Like we've had conversations of differences of opinion where we've talked about evolution and like our different understandings of what evolution is and like our differences of understanding of like our future pertaining to which direction we're going. It doesn't mean that you're right and I'm wrong. We could be both wrong or we could both be right. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, those are like theories. It's I think I said this on the last podcast that like it's kind of like I find it really stupid for two people to get like in a die-hard argument about something to do with like our politics because we only know what the media shows us. So like how are you going to like die hard argue with someone about just what you've only been shown? Like, how
The
can
pro-
you like really stand behind it? Is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's
The
just like you don't
problem-
actually know.
The problem is the two-party system, okay? I'm
Well,
sorry.
yeah.
Having to choose between either Republican or Democrat, I personally feel is non-democratic. We live in a competitive society. We live in a competitive economy. It's like, dude, have competitive parties. All right? The same way that you
Well,
treat businesses, the same way this should be treated as well, as like everybody's got their opinions.
the thing is that there really wasn't supposed to be like one party or two.
No.
What
We
was happening is that there was just a whole bunch of individual people with individual thoughts. This is what I understand to have happened. And what happened is like out of all those individual people, there was one group that came together and made themselves a group. Then after that group made themselves a group, which like back then they were called one party, now they're referred to as a different party or whatever. But that official group, that
Which
very,
was
very
Whig.
first one,
was originally called I think it was the Democratic Party, which originally was called the Whig Party.
they inspired, an opposing group to happen. And ever since then, that is as far as shit fucking went. And I love like using like dumb stuff like that because like I teach all day and I can't just like be like, and that's how shit fucking went. Like I don't get to say that. So it's kind of really fun to say it like here.
There's there's so much that we
like,
can do, but this whole conversation of like whose side you're on, or like are you on left or right, is stupid. When you talk about like food,
you're not on either. No one
Yeah,
is on either.
right.
But go on.
Right. Like exactly to my point. It's like when it pertains to the type of quality of food that we have, the type of healthcare that we have, the type of transportation that we have available to us as US citizens. Like these are all things that have zero to do with being Republican or Democrat. They revolve around all 300 plus American citizens that live on this soil.
Well, the thing
It's
that always
that
gets me
simple.
is like I'll sit there and watch like because I try not to watch any of it, but I'll see like stuff that people show me, and I see like the debates and the interviews, and like they're asking the opponents, or whatever you want to call them. They're asking them their opinions on things. Candidates, well, I don't know. They're competing against each other. I guess they could be opponents, but
Opponents, yeah, that's a good word.
they're asking them questions about things, and it's like they constantly just ask them questions about the border and just all this like current day shit. And it's like, honestly, before there was all the talk about immigration and the talk about the border and all that stuff, even when I was a little girl, there were still a lot of very important, valid questions to ask the president. And none of those questions get asked anymore. All we talk about is just like the new shit. But like I remember when I was a kid, they were doing like some real politicking. Like they were talking like they did not go that easy on Bill Clinton. Like he did not just get to be like, well, we've been dealing with this. Like no, he like had to like be
all about the artist. That is the whole purpose of this podcast, period. And you have a really valuable tool. You can share this with artists, people that are creative, someone that can enjoy this podcast and really enjoy the experience of Lost in the Groove. So, with that, let's jump back to today's episode, shall we?
serious. And I just have to say, I don't see any seriousness in any of these questions. Like, it's all just kind of like, nah, 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 nah. Like, it used to be legit serious fucking business.
Okay,
and
agreed.
Now it's just like some show and tell shit of an interview.
Agreed. However, to your point, there are people, particularly like when you take a character like RFK, where He opposes a question which a lot of Americans ask, which is, what is up with our food? Because we, to be honest, like, there is a problem with the way that we make our food in this country. There are products that we have available in Canada that do not include the same ingredients that we include. We know that there are many countries pertaining into Europe that are moving to regenerative farming because they have seen the problems with even younger children, health effects, among other problems, mental defects, and so on. So, what is going on here? That is the question he's asking, is like, shouldn't parents have the right to know that they're giving their kids healthy and safe food? Shouldn't people have the right to know if they are giving the proper food? And it's like,
Well, how bad is it?
it's bad. It's really bad.
I mean, what the fuck are people like giving their kids? Like,
There are dyes and preservatives that are added to foods that have been now proven to cause cancers. They're known to cause chronic diseases.
they're different foods than when I was a kid. Like, they've added different shit in
They've
there.
added more than when you were a kid. Correct. There's been more
Weird.
added. Yeah.
Because, like, we always used to talk about how, like, I mean, they taught us in junior high that, like, the macaroni and cheese isn't actually that color, that they made it that color. Like, same with, like, Doritos, like, and I mean, they just taught us, you know, that kind of
They
stuff in
add
psychology,
food. They
too.
add food dyes like Red 40.
Yeah.
I forgot. There's like blue, and then there's yellow. I think yellow is like yellow 7. I don't remember.
There's a part of me that just thinks, like, government doesn't actually want to help you. You know, so, like, what's up with this? Like, can this be real? What is the actual agenda behind all this shit? Just to make you think that they care about you? Well, I mean, and they've never really cared about our health.
I'm a very strong believer of small government. Because when you have small government, you get away from all of these problems. Because the truth is, it's always great to have a helping hand. It's always great to have like organizations like FEMA. FEMA is a really great thing that we have in this country. It's great to have organizations that help out veterans, that help out children, that help out many different types of individuals, like, for example, they can't afford medications or prescriptions or things like that in those natures. We have all of those amazing things. The issue that we run into, that we don't face, which is completely unrealistic, is the more we rely on Big Brother, the more we sacrifice for ourselves. We can take care of ourselves on our own. We don't need them. You need them sometimes.
They've created scenarios for us that are like kind of like, it's almost like we end up needing their help because of like the bullshit that they've created.
Bingo.
I mean, if you don't think, it's almost like kind of like we are their refugees in a way. Like, when we end up needing some type of like funding
Captured
or like
refugees,
help.
to be more specific.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I've been on the side where like you got to sign up for food stamps and shit because like you don't have any money. I also,
and that's what it's there for. That is honestly what it is there for. It's there to help out when you don't have the money to pay for food, and it is a real problem that exists in this country. Many people cannot put food on the table. I mean, let's be real. It's
I've
hard.
got learning disabilities. Like,
same. I'm not the only one in my class that has learning disabilities, but I've been able to overcome them. You know,
I mean, I do fine, but like, I think that's why I didn't really, you know, like pull in a job that made me like, you know, a sufficient K a year to be able to like do what the people need to do to like live. So I always figured that was kind of
Yeah.
why, you know?
I see that. And honestly, like I've seen like a completely I just started taking the electric course in my school. And what's really odd is like I worked for my brother's company, you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Was there for like 3 years, and the knowledge that I had there being around those technicians and seeing what they were doing and kind of like seeing how they were able to do like diagnostics and things. That experience has allowed me like now in this class to have like almost this guide, because I can like physically like imagine myself sitting there as the technician at the technician board with the multimeter, testing the logic board,
Yeah.
checking the circuits and different things. Like I can physically
Yeah.
feel that. What I'm getting at is that is a real thing that exists in us, where we have those abilities to adapt and give more to our society. The whole thing about being American is we're in a really fucking cool country. We can be whatever we want to be. Do whatever you want to do, but you got to work for it. That's the thing. There's a lot of competition. It's really hard, but
I feel like everybody starts from different places.
yeah. Hell yeah.
I mean, so there's some people where like you got a lot of shit to deal with before
Oh,
you
yeah.
can do whatever you want.
But like that mindset of where you have that freedom, like be who you want to be and be the best version of yourself.
Personality wise, yeah. I just kind of feel like recently I've felt like I'm working so much that like I don't really get to like be myself. And like I try to be myself like
Hey, it's Dave, and I quickly just wanted to jump in and say if you've been enjoying the podcast, enjoying this episode, if you can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, that'll be so greatly appreciated. Because here's the thing, someone might read that review and make the choice if they want to listen to the podcast. You get to help grow this podcast with us. How fucking cool is that? Let's jump back to today's episode.
while I'm speaking, while I'm talking, like, you know, with my own personality and stuff like that. But sometimes it's just like, I'm not really like, I don't know. I don't want to just be my work, you know, but I'm at my work like all the fucking time.
You know what I've done? I have my my colleagues, like my classmates, where I've kind of befriended them and we've kind of become close, and we kind of have like a little group. We kind of like work together as a team. We figure out like spending time together, sometimes doing things. I mean, I have a lot of schoolwork sometimes, and like these classes and the driving, it's just but what I appreciate the most out of it is like it just gives me a little bit of social life.
Yeah.
Even though I
yeah.
don't really have any, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's just mom, grandparents, school.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. Like I'm great. How many times have I said great?
I think a lot of people are like that nowadays, where it's like you really just kind of have like 3 or 4 humans that you know, and that's it. Like, I don't know, but I do see some people who like go out in like groups and like have like, you know, social groups and like different stuff like that, but man, I don't see it as much anymore. I don't know. I certainly don't have it. I wonder what people think about that.
I don't know. I think there's ways of making it, to be honest. I think it's people define communities in different ways. People think of like communities, they'll think of like religion or church. The way I think of like a community is it's a creepy door. The way I look at it is that like it's kind
It
of
sounds like the sound effect of a door.
right.
Like if you
I
were like
know.
trying to make
Like-
the sound of a door, like it was so cliche. Here.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
no. Like so, like the whole thing with what was I saying?
I'm the worst.
No. You're not the worst. I was talking. I was talking about oh my god, I lost my train of thought.
American Groove.
No, what were we just talking about? Come on.
I wonder if I try to take over the podcast, if it'll give you a drive to like be like, no. What I was trying to say was this. So
No, I'm like I had like a segue of where I was going. I can't remember it. You do not remember what we were just talking about, do you?
of course
No,
I
you
I
don't.
never
You
do.
don't remember. Oh my god. I'm not alone in this. It's the both of us.
Because you just carried it over like to another thing. The worst thing though is that the listeners know, because they don't have anything to do but listen to us. We get very
Right.
distracted
So we
by
have
one
no
another.
idea. Right.
We were just talking about the election and like what you need to do as a person, and I was just saying that like I don't really trust them, and I mean it's the same damn thing we always do, where I just and you're
now
like
I
no,
remember.
it's worth your time, and I'm like
Now
no,
I
it's
remember.
not.
Now I remember. Okay, so
There
I was
we
talking
go.
about with religion and how like people think of like community as being like a religion or like
Community.
Yeah. But the thing I was thinking about community is like just like creating your own like social group. Like maybe it's like at the place you work at or the school that you go to or like the once a week that you can go to like a meetup or something. Or that person that you know that you can hang out with from time to time. Like your community can be as small as 2 people or even just one person.
Do you remember that song that was like
Oh my god, isn't that amazing that I remember that? Do you know how many
No,
times?
I do. I think it's amazing. I don't know.
Okay,
I
yeah.
guess what I'm trying to say is that I think that people are probably kind of lonely.
So lonely.
Yeah. So
I
there's a
have
song
nobody.
where she's like,
on
she says
my
that she's a lonely
own.
bitch.
Yeah.
She's like na 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 na. I'm a lonely bitch. That's the song. It's really good.
Na 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 na.
Yeah,
na,
it's
na,
really
na.
good. So lonely. Yeah, no, it's just a really cute song, but I think that people are lonely and that bitching about politics gives them a reason to speak with one another or gives them a reason to like interact. And so people want to like interact, but then they interact with one another about the politics because it's easy, but then they have like bad interactions with each other, so then it like ruins their taste of like interacting with people, so then it's very like counterproductive is my strange theory about
I always say
political
to
socializing.
strike a great conversation, you always want to start with how you can be open. Start with an open step to what you want to talk about. Don't be afraid. The truth is that the more you hide yourself, and even if you're wrong, the worst thing that somebody could tell you is like, oh, you're wrong. And then instead of snapping back at them and say, okay, tell me why am I wrong? Explain to me why you see what I mean?
I get it, but I get really uncomfortable telling people that they're wrong.
But there's a way of doing it that's not like you're wrong. It's like
I don't need to tell someone else that they're wrong. I don't know what is wrong with everyone else where they need to tell other people if they're wrong or right. But it's not my job to like let a person know if they're wrong or right. Like I don't care.
You can disagree with somebody. Like you can
But
have
what for?
well, people have different opinions. Not
Yeah,
everybody
but what
thinks
for? Like, what is the actual purpose? Other
Do you
than,
want,
like, if you're trying to get to know each other better or, like, but I really don't understand, like, why people need to disagree about it. Like,
okay, so the way, okay, like I can give you an example, right? Take like let's just say you're talking about like a neighborhood. Okay. So somebody might say that, oh, I like this neighborhood because I'm just giving you random examples. Somebody might say, like, I like this neighborhood because they have, um, it's very safe, it's very clean, and it's a nice environment. And you might say, well, I hear you, but the thing is, I disagree because it's very expensive to live there. There's not a lot of businesses that are open that are near there. And for me, those are things that are important to me. So I wouldn't want to live in a neighborhood like that. You see what I mean? It's like,
I mean,
you,
I was specifically talking about politics and political views. Like, I just
but
I don't think there's any reason to, like,
no,
go
no,
out of
I
your way
was
to disagree with people. But I
not,
think you're right. Like, you
yeah,
definitely, people should share with people. I think, like, it obviously depends on who you're talking to. Like,
yes, true.
yeah, because you don't always need to
No,
explain to people.
yeah, and particularly with politics, the thing about it is I like to approach it with the most like clear, like throwing a dart at a board. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna like hit it bullseye. Does it really matter to me? No, I'm just having fun. Plain and simple. That's it. For me, it's just a game of darts.
I don't know. I feel like,
Does that make
see,
sense?
your examples that you gave, like, the second person is really talking about, like, an opinion as to, like, why it truly caters to the person. I think people get so caught up arguing about things that they have no place in. Like, something that has absolutely nothing to do with them. It's like if you and I were to get in an argument about Haiti, like, we don't actually have a place in that. Like,
No, I mean
it
I know people that are from Haiti, but
I mean, once you, like, know a person, like, I know a human that lives in America that was born in Haiti, like, but then it's like I know, like, one human, and I'm pretty sure she was, like, sex trafficked, like, but she never said anything about it, you
no,
know?
I don't think it's something you'd advertise. It'd be, like imagine like you walk up to somebody and be like, "Hey, I was sex trafficked, by the way, just letting you know," and you're just like, "What? What did you just say?"
I just feel bad for her, like,
Yeah, but
I don't know, because I know it's not, like, really what she wanted to do,
I,
if
I,
that was the
I,
case, but
I would
whatever.
say like I usually pertaining to politics, particularly for myself. This may sound strange, but I'll just leave it at this. I like talking to communists about politics,
Do you
particularly.
know a communist to
Yeah,
speak
I
with?
know I know
I
quite a few
don't.
communists. Um, I like talking to liberals about politics.
I don't,
I
because
do.
sometimes
I enjoy. I don't know why.
what
I like
do you like correcting them?
no.
See,
I just like listening to their fuckery, and I'm just like I sit there with a smirk, and I'm just like, but I just keep going. I don't know why. I know it
I think
sounds terrible.
it'd be fun to talk to a liberal that I could, like, be honest with.
Oh God, no!
I haven't
I
had
don't think
any
there's.
liberals that I'm not supposed to, like, crush their world, but, like, if there was some type of a scenario where I could lay it out for a liberal,
Listen to you
I I
laying
can
it out to the
see.
liberals.
Not
Oh,
all of them, but I'm saying,
title
like, if
of
there
Carissa's new memoir. Laying
I
it
could
out
just,
to the
I could just
liberals.
like fucking cut them down like
Whoa.
so hard,
Like 7-layer cake, you know, just right down on the button.
Give me what you got. Give me what you
Yeah,
got. Like
there you go.
seriously.
Okay.
Like what? You ain't got shit. I could fucking crush all their shit in like 5 seconds. Like what? You've been watching CNN for 5 years? Ooh. Like go to hell. Honestly, you ruin the world. Like it's just so nasty. Like not all liberals, but like some of it it's like it's your identity because you don't have one. Like it's
Yeah.
so gross. And I'll say the same thing about some conservatives. Like go get a fucking opinion of your own. Like it's so nasty how
So
people
nasty.
are just empty and they just cling on to a thing. Like it's like I am this. And it's like no one will ever know what you are.
This message has been approved by the Donald Trump campaign. Hey, that's been a wrap, motherfuckers. No, I'm kidding with you. We have no affiliation.
no.
Please don't sue us. Wow.
Trumpage.
Whoa. Anyway, we got a little less than a month until the big ol' election. Big ol' number. But anyway, the shape or form, if you love all of us, if you like Carissa particularly, you can find her on Instagram at American Groove Pod. At an American Groove Pod on Instagram. And if you want to find the podcast, Lost in the Groove, we're on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Lost in the Groove Pod. So with that, what do we say to these people? I mean, we spill the beans on the cam train.
If Kamala becomes president, I could make an Instagram account that's called "The President's a Bitch," and I could just post like dumb shit about her like all the time.
Yeah, you can make like crappy memes, you know, like with the shit emoji and like the like
my channel.
the spinning head emoji, you know, like putting that shit together. Oh my god!
Just like do like the tackiest, like,
Whoa.
and that'll just be. I should patent it.
Patent pending.
Yeah, patent pending right now.
Patent pending.
The president's
you pat
a
down
bitch.
and you penned. You pat down and you penned.
Well, because the president's never been a bitch before.
No. So with that, I hope you enjoy the election series, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Bye, motherfuckers.
Peace.